Hello my artists, this week we are going to focus on monsters since Halloween is coming up. So we are going to create not just a monster, we are going to create 4 monsters in a Zoom meeting. So we're going to think about facial expressions and characteristics. So of course we are going to need for supplies a piece of paper to create our art, and it could also be construction paper if you have construction paper at home, a pencil to help us draw things. You can also use a marker too if you want to, and feel daring. And then things to add color, such as markers or crayons. Or if you have paint, you can use paint too, or color pencils. It is totally up to you. You are the artist. You can pick what you want to use for your medium. So before we start drawing our monsters, I'm going to show you guys some. So let's take a look at these monsters. Check out their eyes. So you can have a monster with 1 eye. You can have a monster with 5 eyes. You can have a monster with a horn. You can have a monster with spikes. So I want you guys to form ideas for 4 monsters first. And then we are going to then start our drawing. So let's check out these monsters. So to create our silly Zoom monsters, we're going to need a piece of paper. Now I have a gray piece of construction paper that's a square shape, but you can use any paper you want to. It could be bigger, it could be smaller, it could be a computer printer paper. It is up to you and what you have. You can even use newspaper if you want to. So the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to create 4 monsters that are in a Zoom meeting together. So these monsters can be silly, they can be creepy, they can be spooky, they can just be just your typical monster. So to create 4 monsters, our first thing we have to do is fold our paper into 4. Now we might have done this before when we did our positive word art. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our left side of our paper and we're going to come over and meet it to the right side of our paper. And you're going to try to get the best you can that both sides are going to fit together and fold it. Now we're going to take the top and match it to the bottom. And if your paper needs a little help, it's okay to help it. You're going to press them down, give them a fold. Next, we're going to open our paper up, and we got 4 different sections. And if you want to, I'm going to create lines on my fold. So I'm going to draw a straight line from the top to bottom. Try my best to stay right on the side of that fold. And then I'm going to turn my paper around so I can draw from top to bottom. I find that drawing a straight line is easier starting at the top to go to the bottom than from left to right. Alright, so I got my 4 sections for my 4 Zoom monsters. So what you're going to do is you can start with pencil if you want to, or you can be daring and start with marker. You're going to create monsters. So I'm going to create different shaped monster heads. So it's only we're going to see their shoulders up. So we don't have to worry about their feet. So I'm going to create a monster like this one. And just think about their different shapes. And I'm just going to do their shapes of their body right now. Let's see, I'm going to do a hairy monster. A square-like monster. Kind of like an alien head monster. And feel free to check out the Google Classroom doc that I put on different monster-shaped heads to help you out while drawing your monster. And they can all have the same head shape, it's okay. So there's my 4 shaped monster heads. Now, we gotta think of their face features, such as eyeballs. Your monster can have 1 big eye, it could have 2 eyes, it could have a whole bunch of eyes. So I'm going to give this guy here 1 eye, I'll give him an eyebrow too. I'm gonna give this guy down here 2 eyeballs. My square monster is gonna have 3. This guy will have 2. And you are welcome to copy my monsters if you are stuck. Now let's think about mouths. So your mouth can be closed, your mouth can be small, whatever you like. Oh, and your monsters can also look at each other. So I'm going to step back for a little bit. And if you didn't create your eyeballs, that's okay. So if I'm drawing my eyeballs, maybe you have your pupils in the middle. Maybe you have them looking to the right. Maybe you have them looking the other way. Or maybe they're looking at somebody. Maybe he's a cross-eyed monster and he has his eyeballs looking at each other. So let's go back and we're going to finish our monster mouse. So this monster is going to have a smile. This monster is going to have an open mouth with a whole bunch of teeth. You can draw a tongue in your monster's mouth. Oh, this guy's going to have his tongue sticking out. Alright, so there's my finished monsters. I am going to use oil pastels to add color. You are welcome to use anything you have at home for color. You're welcome to use paint. If you have paint at home, you can use oil pastels, markers, crowns, whatever you have at home. Be inventive. Alright.